For centuries, we viewed the universe as a static container. Space was thought of as an empty room, a giant invisible stage where planets and stars were simply placed. Time functioned as a totally separate universal constant. We imagined it as a steady, invisible clock, ticking at the exact same rate for everyone, everywhere in the cosmos. To explain why things moved within this room, we relied on the idea of gravity as an invisible tugger. We saw it as a force that reached out across the void to pull objects together, like the Earth pulling you toward the ground. This mechanical view of the world is perfectly logical. It matches our daily intuition, which is why the scientific community found the prospect of a different reality so deeply unsettling. Albert Einstein challenged these certainties through thought experiments, famously imagining what it would look like to ride alongside a beam of light. By questioning if the speed of light remained constant, he realized that space and time themselves must be flexible. Once Einstein proved that the very fabric of the universe could stretch and warp, he arrived at his most radical conclusion: gravity is not a pulling force at all. This created a massive logical vacuum. Without an invisible force pulling things, science had no way to explain why objects fall or why planets stay in orbit. The world needed a new map of reality. Einstein filled the vacuum with space-time. Space and time are fused into a single, flexible framework. Visualize this like a giant trampoline. A massive object placed onto this fabric causes it to physically bend and sink, creating a deep depression. In our solar system, the sun acts as that heavy weight. Its immense mass creates a giant, permanent dent in the fabric of space-time. The Earth orbits the sun because it is rolling along the curved path of that dent. There are no invisible ropes guiding the planet. There is only the geometry of the curve. This proves that mass literally reshapes the environment around it. Planets are simply following the warped shape of the universe itself. While every object bends space-time slightly, these effects are usually too small for humans to notice. We only see the true power of this curvature when we look at the most massive bodies in the cosmos. Black holes represent the ultimate extreme of this effect. They are objects so dense they act like infinite pits, stretching the space-time fabric downward forever. Because this pit is so deep and the curvature so steep, not even light can move fast enough to climb back out of the dent. These regions represent literal reality glitches. They are points where the curvature becomes so intense that our normal physical laws cease to function entirely. Because space and time are woven together, you cannot warp one without affecting the other. This relationship leads to a phenomenon called time dilation. The math is direct. The stronger the gravitational curvature, the slower time actually passes. This means an observer standing near the extreme curvature of a black hole might experience only a few minutes, while a friend far away on Earth ages by several hours. Time is not an absolute constant. It is relative to where you are standing in the warped fabric of the universe. While this sounds like science fiction, it is a practical reality for the GPS satellites that power our navigation systems. Because these satellites are thousands of miles away from Earth's mass, they experience slightly weaker gravity. This causes their onboard clocks to tick slightly faster than our clocks on the ground. If engineers didn't use Einstein's equations to correct for this time difference, the maps on your phone would be off by several kilometers every single day. This digital infrastructure provides functional, daily proof that time dilation is a real force affecting our lives right now. As you sit here, you are resting inside a warped and invisible fabric, following the massive curves shaped by the stars and planets around you. The universe is far more flexible than our intuition suggests. Our modern world only functions because one person dared to imagine that our foundational understanding of reality was completely wrong.